Hey boys and girls, today I'm going to do an update of my motorcycle. The first video I did for my motorcycle was when I first got it, so there's a couple little differences. Sorry the light's not so good. I work overnights, and so I parked underneath the light, but I'm going to go through all the new differences about my bike. The gold rims came with the bike, so that's not new, but it is custom for the bike. It's got custom green paint. When I look closely, you can tell it sparkles in the light, but in the dark it looks black. So next thing, I added these highway pegs, crash bars that flip out like that. Gives me some extra room for my legs when I go on nice long rides. When it's out all the way like this, it's kind of really wide set, and my legs are pretty far out, so it kind of feels like I'm giving birth with my legs up in the stirrups like that. But like this, it's too close to the hypercharger, so I usually do it out like that. Next thing, came with the foot pegs, or panel boards. Came with the hypercharger that came with the bike when I bought it, but that's a nice little extra to have. It's got the extra vent on the side for more airflow, adds horsepower and such. It's got custom exhaust. It's Vance and Hines. It's kind of dark here. Let me try and turn the light on maybe. But yeah, that's the Vance and Hines exhaust for extra power and light and sound, so that way people can hear me on the road. I've got chrome on the radiator, make it look a little nicer, plus these are added chrome, so that way it looks nicer. Chrome on the pegs. Saddlebags came with it. I added the stiletto tips to my grips, give it that extra little spiky look to it, something I like. And then it came with the quasi cruise control, I call it, because it's not quite cruise control, but if you rest your hand on it, it locks into position, so that way you don't have to hold the throttle the whole time. I added these mirrors. They're kind of like a bat wing style on the mirror, but on the back, as you can tell, it's a flame type style. Came with the windshield that came with the bike. It's kind of big and it doesn't have a tint to it, so eventually I want to get a different windshield, but it's okay. Let me see what else is there. It's got a whole bunch of gauges and such. That's standard. I want to get a visor for the speedometer, so it kind of blocks the sunlight so you don't get glare, but I don't really have a problem with glare, so I don't really need that. I added a backrest to my seat so I can lean back, and it supports my lumbar spine. I know my sister, she's like, oh, that's not nearly big enough for your whole back, and I was like, it doesn't really need to cover your whole back. If it just covers your lower back when you lean back on it, it just does the job. And then it came with the back support for the back seat, so passenger. So I mean, that's pretty nice for whoever's riding in the back, because I know sometimes the way I drive, if that wasn't there, probably would have killed my wife already. Not out of anger, but just driving off, she probably would have fallen off. I guess not died, but it would have caused an argument. But anyways, I will try to get a full picture of my bike. Like I said, it's dark right now because I work overnights, and I did park underneath the light hoping that it would be enough light, but apparently it's not. But here, let me try and get a front view so you can see those crash bars, and I'll open them up so you can really tell how far out they really go. It's pretty far out. So that's that, and I'll get a view of it from behind so you can see. This is a 2002 Honda VTX 1800C. So that means it's 1800 cc's, which is the equivalent to 110 cubic inches. And if you think about it, my wife's car has an 80 cubic inch engine in it. So that means my bike has 30 cubic inches of size on her engine. So that means mine's 30 cubic inches bigger, basically. So it's a pretty powerful engine. And the C is the style of body, because the R is retro, which means the fenders would be bigger, more old school style. This is more of a moderate, contemporary style, I guess. But it's got the special brakes on it that are pretty powerful. Right now I've got anti-lock brake system, and I got it set up to where I only have to pull the hand brake or the foot brake, and it does both brakes equally, so that way I don't have to pull both. But if I do need to pull both, it does exert more power to it than if I just did one or the other. So if in an emergency I really needed to stop on as soon as possible, I would do both. But if I'm just coming to red light or something, I only need to do one. So that's kind of helpful. Anywho, the next thing I want to do on my bike, I know this video is getting pretty long, I'm rambling on a little bit. Next thing I want to do is either get new handlebars altogether, or I want to lift them a little bit, because right now when I'm on my bike I kind of have to lean forward a little bit to reach the handlebars, and with my backrest and my foot pegs, or the crash bars, you know, I want to lean back so I can relax, and I don't want it to look like ape hangers where your hands are way up in the air, but I do want to be able to lean back and relax. So something in the middle would be nice. Like if I got new handlebars, I would want them to come up about here. Let me go to the side so you can actually tell. Coming towards me probably about 2 or 3 inches. That's all I really need. It's just 2 or 3 inches closer to me. I don't need a foot in the air or anything stupid like that. Anyways, this is an 8-minute video, so my last video that I tried doing this was 2 minutes and it was too long, so hope that sums it up for everybody. That's my VTX 1800C.